Yehova, please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, amen. We'll start with the Shema, listen and obey. Children of Yehova, pay careful attention and respond. Yehova is our power and authority. Yehova works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehova with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Genesis chapter 38. It was at this time that Yehuda went off from his brothers and settled near a man named Hira, who was an Adulami. There Yehuda saw one of the daughters of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and slept with her. And she conceived and had a son, whom he named She conceived again and had a son, and she called him Onan. Then she conceived yet again and had a son, and called his name, whom she called Shelah. He was in Keziv when she gave birth to him. Yehuda took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Yehuda's firstborn, was evil from Yehovah's perspective, so Yehovah killed him. Yehuda said to Onan, "Go and sleep with your brother's wife. Perform the duty of a husband's brother to her, and preserve your brother's line of descent." However, Onan knew that the child would not count as his, so whenever he had intercourse with his brother's wife, he spilled the semen on the ground. So it was not to give his brother offspring. What he did was evil from Yehovah's perspective, so he killed him too. Then Yehuda said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, "Stay a widow in your father's house until my son Shelah grows up." For he thought, "I don't want him to die too, like his brothers." So Tamar went and lived at home with her father. In due time, Shua's daughter, the wife of Yehuda, died. After Yehuda had been comforted, he went up to be with his sheep shearers in Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adulami. Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law has gone up to Timnah to shear his sheep." So she took off her widow's clothes, completely covered her face with her veil, and sat at the entrance of Enayim, which is on the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah had grown up, but she still was not being given to him as his wife. When Yehuda saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, because she had covered her face. So he went over to where she was sitting and said, not realizing that she was his daughter-in-law, "Come, let me sleep with you." She answered, "What will you pay to sleep with me?" He said, "I will send you a kid from the flock of goats." She said, "Will you also give me something as a guarantee until you send it?" He answered, "What should I give you as a guarantee?" She said, "Your seal with its cord and the staff you're carrying in your hand." So he gave them to her, then went and slept with her, and she conceived by him. She got up and went away, took off her veil, and put on her widow's clothes. Yehuda sent the kid with his friend, the Adulami, to receive the guarantee back from the woman, but he couldn't find her. He asked the people near where she had been, "Where is the prostitute who was on the road at Enayim?" But they answered, "There hasn't been any prostitute here." So he returned to Yehuda and said, "I couldn't find her." Also the people said that there hasn't been any prostitute here. Yehuda said, "All right, let her keep the things, so that we won't be publicly shamed. I sent the kid, but you didn't find her." About 3 months later, Yehuda was told, "Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has been acting like a whore. Moreover, she is pregnant as a result of her prostitution." Yehuda said, "Bring her out. Let her be burned alive." When she was brought out, she sent this message to her father-in-law, "I am pregnant by the man to whom these things belong. Determine, I beg you, whose these are, the signet, the cord, and the staff. When Yehuda acknowledged owning them, he said, "She is more righteous than I, because I didn't let her become the wife of my son Shelah, and never slept with her again." When she went into labor, it became evident that she was going to have twins. As she was in labor, one of them put out his hand, and the midwife took his hand and tied a scarlet thread on it, saying, "This one came out first." But when he withdrew his hand, his brother came out. So she said, "How did you manage to break out first?" Therefore, he was named Peretz, breaking out. Then out came his brother, the scarlet thread in his hand. He was given the name Zerach, scarlet. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading Genesis 38? We can be fruitful and multiply. We can aim to be good from the perspective of Yehova. We can aim to obey our mother and father. Evidently, it's evil in the sight of Yehova to pull out. Aim to be honest and not take things into your own hands. Wait on the perfect timing of Yehova. Aim to keep sex in the marriage bed alone. Aim to be pure sexually. Trust that Yehova sees all and will work things for his kingdom and his glory. Aim not to judge. Aim not to be quick to judge when you are in the wrong. Aim to be righteous in the sight of Yehova. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can aim to never use others sexually. How can we bear one another's burdens? We can aim to be righteous and wait on the perfect timing of Yehova. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. End with the Arianic blessing. Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.